One of the most powerful uses of DNA is its uses in identity testing. DNA comes from many places, such as a strand of hair, a white blood cell, or even a semen sample, and each one of the cells contains the same identical DNA. The process of DNA fingerprinting is not as old as you think it is. It only dates back to about 1985, when geneticist Alec Jeffreys and his colleagues were looking at human microbial genes, which are proteins found in your muscles. While looking at the DNA, he noticed there was a region of a base pair of about 33 nucleotides that repeated 4 times, and he referred to this as the mini satellite and the similar regions that surrounded it as the hypervariables. While doing some further testing, he noticed that the repeats would be in different locations and have different lengths from person to person. This was groundbreaking, and later it was discovered that they can also use the tandem repeat sequence for the Y chromosome to determine the gender of the subject. The sequence was then coined the variable number of tandem repeats by scientist Yosuke Nakamura. It was incredible to see how we can use DNA to identify a person specifically based on their unique genetic code. So now here's Ben to show us how that discovery was put to the test.
One case that was of particular importance to forensic and DNA fingerprinting was the murder of Halle Crafts. Crafts of Newtown, Connecticut went missing in November of 1986. Shortly after, an eyewitness saw her husband, Richard Crafts, using a wood chipper near Lake Zor. Prosecutors alleged that Richard killed Halle, cut her into pieces with a chainsaw, froze her body, and scattered her remains into the lake using the wood chipper. Police recovered bone and tooth fragments, hair, fingernails, blood, and unique dental work, but no body. State attorneys relied on 99% forensic evidence to establish the fact of death. Renowned forensic scientist Dr. Henry Lee stated that this case would revolutionize investigative technology, its application, and its use in courts. The forensic work was especially impressive because polymerase chain reaction had not yet become common in criminal cases. This was the first murder conviction in Connecticut absent of the victim's body.
Prior to DNA profiling, in order to issue death certificate and to declare a person dead, one had to have a body present and identify the body as that of the victim. DNA profiling as evidence is a major discovery because it now provides leads for investigation and helps facilitate convictions. The Halle Crafts murder was pivotal in forensic science, as scientists were able to construct the entire method used to kill the victim and identify her as a victim without the body present. Although other clues that were gathered have evidently pointed to her husband as the murderer, it was necessary to link her body to the remnants of the corpse that were found at the crime scene. At this time, genetic profiling was possible whenever as little as 20 cells were gathered from a crime scene. The victim's hair and blood collected from a chainsaw were taken into a lab and treated to extract DNA segments. The DNA segments, once treated with enzyme, were sequenced to create a genetic profile using electrophoresis. The short tandem repeat sites of the DNA specimen matched the DNA that was already linked to Halle. Also, to simulate the use of wood chipper as a method used for disposal of the victim's frozen body, a frozen pig was pushed through the vessel, and fragments that spit out were similar in shape to bone fragments of the victim found in the lake.
So if you're like me, you've probably seen the television show Dexter before, in which case you probably understand the importance of DNA recovery from crime scenes. You also probably know that Dexter is similarly as gruesome as the shredding of a pig through a wood chipper. Yet, it is so critically important for police departments and prosecutors everywhere in determining the futures of so many lives throughout society. Police departments have access to many different databases which are meant to make it easier for the cops to keep track of you, basically. Yet, since forensics is essentially based off of probabilities, some believe that these databases could be controversial, or that if you are already in the system, the prosecutors may be biased and conclude links that might not be for certain. As my group members explained earlier, DNA recognition is based off of short tandem repeats, which make us, aka our DNA, unique as humans. Today, these sequences of nucleotides are the reason why thousands and thousands of people have been either convicted or acquitted. Unfortunately, for Halle Crafts, it turned out her husband Richard Crafts did not have loyalty in his DNA.
I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. Cocaine quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA.